This video is for Sebastian and Noi. It's their Patreon request. Thank you so much for the support. I appreciate you. We're doing music from Guilty Gear Strive. These are always so good. Vocals by Naoki Hashimoto. Composition by Daisuke Iwatari. This is Ino's theme. I'm excited. Let's go.
Can you feel the night?
Oh, nice guitar layering.
Must be bright, like a raging fire.
This character is awesome.
When the sky cries in April,
Oh, that's a nice open use of syncopation there.
and trees smile with me.
Cool melody.
The
The double harmony?
but I can't feel it. Shut it out.
Okay, the first 45 seconds are jam-packed. One thing I always ask myself when listening to Guilty Gear music is like, I wonder how long it's going to be in the style before it probably switches to something else, because it happens all the time. Okay, this character's killer. Obviously, guitar is like their main thing, so it makes sense why this is so beefy. A lot of like music protein going on right now, if that's even a thing. Check out the beginning, though. The first 4 seconds is wild.
Can you feel the
The guitar choices here are so like kind of creepy and dissonant versus the vocal line that's kind of just floating above that, almost ghost-like.
Can you feel the
Blah, blah, blah. We have so much like vibrato and those notes just kind of hanging out, but above that, like way up in the stratosphere, is like, I don't know, listen to like, it sounds like ghosts floating up in the synth lines above both those two layers.
Can you feel the
You know what I'm saying? So that like already establishes, like if I just hit play, but you're familiar with Guilty Gear, you'd hear that and be like, oh, it's Guilty Gear. Like you would just know right away. You can drop the needle and you're going to be able to identify the characteristics that we always get. And then it just gets a lot more beefy immediately. Cool rhythms right here. Like so much unrelated material just happened within the first 8 seconds. Is that conventional for the average listener's ear? No, but Guilty Gear is cooler than average. That's the whole attraction to this music, because it really sets us up to go somewhere. We know we're gonna get beefy, but again, how long do we stay there? The bend is nice.
must be bright,
Almost David Bowie-like. We drop in. Obviously, and it gets super heavy right there, and we really get establishment of more of a functional groove. And who cares? Like, it's almost not even worth mentioning the word functional. What I mean by that, just more recognizable within the normal rock genre. Everything that's going on before that is so cool and just would be a lot more difficult to transcribe, since we have these notes kind of moving between. It just feels like it's a lot more flowy in a way we don't hear that often. But it's, for me personally, it's why I like it so much. I guarantee you, though, it's not for everybody. I know some friends I could give this to, and they'd be like, yeah, I'm not going to listen to that because the vocal line is not something they're like, I guess, interested in. For me, I find it super interesting. Now, this part coming up, though, is cool.
when the sky cries in April.
The guitar part is so, like I said, syncopated earlier, but it's not really. It's like just in the pocket playing the groove. The part that tricked me is how I don't want to say this. When you play music, you can play rhythms basically in three main interpretations. Right in time, meaning right on the beat. You can play a little on the front side of the beat, not rushing, but just like anticipation, or you can play more like on the back side of the beat, not quite dragging, but just being behind. The vocal line feels like it's kind of floating just a little bit behind the beat versus the guitar being so on top of it. So you get a syncopation is more where we put like multiple rhythms against each other. It's not really that going on, but it kind of creates that type of, I guess, experience. It's almost, I don't know, it reminds me of the ghost part in the beginning. This is a lot more drive here, but it just makes me feel like I'm kind of floating a little bit.
When the sky cries in April,
You know what I'm talking about? That's cool.
The tender passes, tell me many loving things.
Like that part right there, you get like the vocal, you get the harmony in the vocals, and then you get the guitar lines lined up with the harmony. Like that just screams like straight up. That feels like 1988, and it feels good. You know what I'm saying?
The tender passes, tell me many loving things.
Hell yeah, man.
But I can't feel it.
Let's keep going.
Shut it out. I threw my soul that I could see everything. Yeah. I wasn't on the road.
Cool.
I had to stop. There is no up or down above the clouds, and I can't breathe.
Dude, I can't get over this stuff, man. I honestly cannot get over this. Did you hear all the cool harmonies that are happening on the vocal line? Let's go back and listen to this again.
I threw my soul that I could.
That's sick, dude. Even by itself was awesome, but underneath, the rhythm section is rocking out right here.
Shut it out. I threw my soul that I could see everything. Yeah.
Great guitar playing.
I wasn't on the road.
Drumming's nice too.
I had to stop.
But here comes.
There is no up or down above the.
That's interesting, dude. So all that forward movement, aggression, push, and then you get this rhythmic, kind of just resolution right here to really break up where you're going.
To stop. There is no up or down above the clouds, and I can't breathe.
Organ. Oh, that was a sick part. Let's go back and grab that again. So obviously the organ comes in here, and then all the sounds are pretty much stacked on top of each other. It's like a big cluster, a sonority of tones happening at the same time, and it's very thick. It's very beefy. Boom ba ba da, boom ba da da, and massively tonal compared to the previous melodic material that we had. But now we thicken it up with the drums are a lot more involved here. So there's I guess several layers to kind of grab on and process. Borderline shout chorus. That moves so well. Nice bass playing there.
Let's take some strawberries and
Oh,
go
yeah, man.
to the hill.
There we go.
If you want to see fireworks bring at you the sky, the pictures in my head tell me a lot of stories.
Yeah, bass. You know we're going back for that. What do you think of that? Is whatever the groove is there, man. Like, see, this is the thing. This is why I love listening to this music. And again, I know it's not for everybody, but chances are, if you hear it, it is for you, and it's also for me. So welcome in. It's a good time. It's just the little things, man. You add like little groove patterns like that. You just vary the kick drum pattern versus the bass a tiny bit, and suddenly we're stuck. Sorry, not stuck. We're arriving to the section where it's similar in musical like contrast. Or sorry, it's similar in the composition, but the contrast is enough to make it feel so new. It's coming up. I went back.
Let's take some strawberries and go to the hill. If you want to see
Okay, hold on.
fireworks bring at you the sky.
All right, so my bad. The bass and the kick drum are lined up perfectly. That I meant to say the low end of the rhythm section, bass player plus the right foot of the drummer. Okay, we're lining up like they should. They're totally mathematically together. It's the guitar line on the left side that we had the little verses each other. I won't go back as far as we did. Let's just go like right here. Put your ear on the bassist and the drummer versus the guitar player.
Let's take some strawberries and go to the hill. If you want to
Nice splash symbol used to. Then it opens up. Some good bass playing happening in there. It's a fun melodic line. Woo. Where are we going to go now? Similar. The bassist is outstanding. Interesting. That was a cool section. We're going to go into the guitar feature, obviously. That was like, for me, the most jointed but disjointed section, meaning the vocals and the bass and just like where we were at the guitar all felt so sort of unrelated, yet it was stacked on each other and working. Let me just go back and listen to this section again, please. You know what? I take that back. The guitar and the like whatever top line ghosty synth line there, it feels a lot more jointed than I thought. I think the reason I said that is because I probably paid a little too much attention to that top. Like this is one, like, layered listening is cool. You can hear a lot of things, but layered listening can also distract you in spots that you're not really meant to get too distracted in and buy in too much, because it kind of like flipped it. It flipped the pyramid of where I was like feeling the textures, and it kind of messed it up for a second. But going back, it makes a lot more sense this time. We'll go back to the 245. We'll let it go on this time. Yeah, bass. Interesting phrasing. And not the second time. And there's some changes there. What a weird but cool, that part where it felt almost asymmetrical when it was so open. Just we hear the bass player playing the groove and the guitarist is not there. Let's go back and grab some more. I don't remember when the guitar feature started. I apologize. It is before that mark. We'll go to like the 303 section to keep it simple here. The first thing I noticed though was the mix is interesting because the rhythm guitar underneath the solo feature there is pretty like loud. It's almost like they're almost like equally, I guess, predominant in a way. It's up there for me. Did you grab that? Was that Dies Irae right there? That's pretty dope. That's cool. Right here, this part. Nice tom choices on the drums to support that. Okay. And you know, I probably shouldn't have stopped the guitar feature in the middle because conceptually now hearing it from A to B, it's pretty wild because there's just non-traditional elements in use there. It's killer. Like that was super confusing the first time on. Kind of it feels asymmetrical with that bass exposure. Then we go back, and then the best part for me, the best part is the note choices on the way out because we're kind of playing out. It almost feels like distorted jazz a little bit because we're just getting kind of fuzzy and playing a lot of blue notes, and it just adds a completely. I personally just don't feel like I would hear this type of solo outside of a Guilty Gear Strive composition or piece from the soundtrack. It doesn't mean that this is the only place where folks play like this. That's not what I'm saying. What I am saying is consistently, I know that I will hear it in here. So that's the cool part. I would like to go back and grab some of these more interesting, colorful note choices on the guitars here. Choppy. Come on, man. The bass player's choices at the end there really made that outstanding. You know, I want to go to Japan next year. You know, sooner than next year, actually. I would love, man, Naoki Hashimoto. I want to talk to him. I want to like, what is your inspiration for when you're picking these vocals? Like, how do you think of these lines versus the guitar? Like, are you laying down guitar tracks first and then singing? Are you singing and laying down guitar tracks? Where, like, conceptually, I want to know because it doesn't sound traditional. So I would assume the approach is not traditional, if that makes sense. That's the best thing about music, though. When folks really find themselves and they're able to create and put something out there creative and it sounds unique, that's when you know things are going well. Because, you know, most of the problem with, you know, the average person and the average stuff they put in their ears is just that. It's average. It's carbon copies of each other, and it, you know, it sells for whatever reasons. And, you know, all the tools to make it right now are super simple. And we get like this stuff floating out there, whether, you know, it's great or not great. But then you get something like this, and it's very unique. It's very musical, but you have to consider the musicianship and the folks that get together creatively to make it. And that's the reason it sounds so cool like this. So again, I know it's not for everybody. It just happens to be for me. So let me know what you think about it down in the comments below. My name is DrumRollTony. Catch me when I'm live on Twitch. You can find a link for my socials down in the video description below. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you. Please and thank you. Click the like button, subscribe to the channel so you can grab the next video. You do think you want to watch one of these two videos next. Have a great day. Take it easy. Bye-bye.